Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're here to talk about Arsenal Football Club. We're here to talk about mainly the game yesterday. Arsenal Football Club versus PSG. What a disappointing result yesterday. Very, very disappointing yesterday, guys. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to Riley's World. My first time going live, and would have known that my first time going live would have been talking about a defeat. I planned for this. I planned for this live today. I planned to come on here talking how we beat PSG, and it was all rehearsed, all planned, only for me to be sitting here on my first live telling you guys how disappointing that game was yesterday. We're here to talk about it. The disappointment of the game from the start to the finish, from the dressing room, from the starting 11. We're here to talk about it all. The realist family, big up yourself. Guys, we're gonna dig deep in it. Arsenal Football Club. This is our season, this is our year. Champions League should be ours this year. We're not done. We're not done. We're still gonna fight. But we got it so wrong yesterday. It was so bad. And I mean from the coach to the players on the field, we got it wrong yesterday. Today I'm gonna do some player result, some player rating, sorry. Even the coach gonna get rating today. Everybody. We're gonna dig into it today. Let's start with our players. Let's start from Raya. Not much Raya could have done about the goal. I think when I look at the goal, I think he was blindsided by the shot. Kiva was there, marking an attacker. The ball flew past, inside post, goal. Right? I think the build-up from the goal was from Declan Rice leaving the player in the middle to go help Timber, who was having a rough start. Rough. That game started so fast. I think Arsenal players thought they were still practicing. But my player rating for Raya, I give Raya a 6. As I said, not much he could have done. He made a couple of good stops and, keep us in the game. But there's not much he could have done about the game, about the goal. So, Raya, I give a 6. Kivia, I also give a 6. I think he's steadily improving. I think he's getting comfortable. I think he's getting real comfortable. And I think I'm gonna love to see more of him. I think he's gonna be a good talent. I can see that in him if he gets the game time. All right, so I give Kivia a 6 as well. I give Saliba a 6.5. There was this one point where Dembele got away down that right flank with Saliba, and he couldn't pass him for nothing. He could not pass him for nothing. Saliba's made a couple mistakes over the past weeks. And me, for one, was on him for it, because he's a top-class defender. He's a Rolls Royce of Arsenal team. He's a Rolls Royce of defense. The guy's so smooth, you're wondering, yo. Trust me. When I saw he did to Dembele the same thing that he did to Mbappe, it's like he's saying, yo, not over here, bro. Try the other way. You know what I'm saying? So it was good. I give him a 6.5. We lost. You can't get higher than that. You can't get higher than that. My man of the match was Kelly. No, where did that 18-year-old kid come from? Where did that kid come from? 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I thought he was going to go on loan. Because I'm saying, okay, cool. I like this kid from he was coming up, but where is he going to play? I thought he was going to go on loan. Now to have an 18-year-old kid bossing the defense, running through the middle, taking on players, setting up goals, like he's been in this game forever. This kid looked like he was playing in his mama's womb. That's how good he is. I give him a 7. That's my man of match. That 18-year-old kid, trust me, the best is yet to come. The sky is the limit for him. I'm looking forward to watching that kid. It's something special. It's something special. Timber. Timber has been good for us. Timber has been really good for us when he's fit all season. And it's when that game started, you know what I mean, I thought Timber think he probably was still training. He couldn't get a hold of the game for nothing. He could not get a hold of the game for nothing. For 20 minutes, Timber was all over the place. That's the reason why Rice had to came and help him. And get caught out of position when they scored the goal. Dembele was left by himself. Dembele was left by himself. My player ratings for Timber, you know what I mean, sad, but it's 5. I mean, you grew back into the game, but the game was already lost, man. You know what I mean? So 5 for Timber, and sadly, you know what I mean, and I'm going to talk about Rice a bit more, so I'm going to skip him for right now. Right? I want to talk also about Marino. We bought a midfielder, right? That to me can't even play midfield. That's my opinion. I don't think this guy is a midfielder. I mean, like, he's a better striker than he's a midfielder. I would never play him in my midfield. He's a better striker than a midfielder. You know what I mean? And these are some of the decisions that the coach got wrong. So wrong. I mean, Marino ain't playing good in Arsenal midfield since he's been here. He has not been playing good in that midfield. You know what I mean? So my score for Marino get a 3 for me, I'm sorry. Marino get a 3 for me. You know what I mean? And even worse, skipper. Martin Odegaard. Where you been, bro? Where you been? Thank you, Olivia. I see you. Realist family now. Martin Odegaard, where you been? You been missing since Madrid. I mean, I felt like they left you in Madrid. You got homesick or something? We were playing with 10 man. Our skipper was missing. Our creative midfielder was missing. Our leader was missing. Martin Odegaard, this is huge for us. We haven't been here for 20 years. This is huge for us. We haven't been here since you was about 6 or 5 or something like that. For 20 years, we haven't been this far in this competition. When we need you the most, you were nowhere to be found. You disappeared. Not even one of those beautiful passes that you would probably sometime just not in the game, but just manage to create and make something happen. You were not present. I mean, it's like your name was just on the team sheet. And that was about it. How did you last 89 minutes on that field? I don't know. Honestly speaking, I don't know. Martin, I give you a 2. And I mean, and that's just because you managed to make the team. I don't even know how you did that, but just because you managed to make the team, you know what I mean, my heart's off to you. So I give you a 2 for that. You know, I like this player that I'm going to talk about next. I like him for a lot of reasons. I like him because he has something that most of the other players don't have. Speed. Speed. And when I mention speed, you all know that I'm talking about Martinelli. You know what I mean? But there's one thing that drives me crazy about Martinelli. Martinelli. Bro, why you keep on running with your head down? Why don't you try to see where you're going? Look. Martinelli, that goal that you missed, you could not score that on me. You could not score that on me. You're too predictable. Once you open your body, everybody know you're putting that ball to the far corner, the right, to the left of the goalkeeper. It's the same thing you did in Madrid and you got away with it. Every single time you put the ball in the same place. I'm not a goalkeeper and I promise you, you could not score that goal on me. You gotta think. You gotta be more creative. You're a professional baller, man. You got yourself in some positions yesterday. You missed 2 goals. We could have been looking at a whole different result today. Different result today. But why? You couldn't finish. You couldn't finish. The story mostly of your career at Arsenal. You can't finish. You need to practice how to finish. I'm giving it all today, man. I was disappointed yesterday. This is my first live. I'm supposed to be here rolling in victory. I'm here sobbing in defeat. Martinelli, just for the positions that you pick up and, you know what I mean, I'll give you a 5. I'll give you a 5. Trossard. Trossard, I give you a 4. You know what I mean? Just because he was out of position and you didn't have much impact on the game, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I give you a 4. I ain't have much to say about you, you know what I mean? When you show up, you show up. When you don't, you just don't. It's like you're in and out. It's like you're like a passenger. You're like a good friend. Just pass through when you're ready. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it didn't pass through yesterday. You know what I mean? So I give you a 4. Saka, you didn't have that. You didn't have that push yesterday. You didn't have that. You got to be fighting for your own ball yesterday. You know what I mean? You got to be searching your own way yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And even you give Martinelli a through ball or assist and he missed it. So, you know what I mean? There wasn't a lot on the plate yesterday that you could have done different because everybody know who you are. Everybody know you're the danger man. You know what I mean? So they're gonna be on you. But when they're on you, where were the other players? 2, 3 players on you. Where were the other players? Nobody was there to step up. You know what I mean? Declan Rice tried. You see the 2 times that Declan Rice tried to stride through that midfield. You see what happened? Yeah. You know what I mean? So Saka, I gave you a 5. No, this is where I want to be. I give Declan Rice a 5 because I don't think Declan Rice is a 6 anymore. I think Declan Rice's best position right now is that left 8. Right? And he played out of position to accommodate Partey. By the way, Partey, you get a rating in this too. I give you a 0 because that was stupid of you to get a card at the end of the game, knowing that you have this important game to play. You know what I mean? I give you a 0. You know why you even get a score? Because for some reason you got yourself in the camera while we're mad and upset about you already. You managed to put yourself in the spotlight again. There's a lot of pressure on you now, party. And you got to come. You got to bring the party down. Because guess why? We're expecting you to hold this down in France. We're expecting you to turn up in France. The expectation is massive on you now. So please, don't let us down. Not again. That card was, you know what I mean, but not again. Step up in France. Show them you deserve a contract. Show them you deserve a new contract, party. Let's do this. Arteta. How? What? Coach. How did you leave from 0 to 0 in a week? Oh. You had one problem to fix. One problem. One. You had one problem to fix. A party problem. All you needed to do was find a replacement for Thomas Partey. You did not need to find a replacement for Marino. You did not need to find a replacement for Trossard. You just needed to find a replacement for Thomas Partey. You could play in a position for all I care, because the rest of the side picks itself. Look at what we've been doing with the team that you've been selecting. Look at the team that you said for Madrid. Look what we did. How are you going to go ahead and move Rice? The player of both legs, home and away, in Madrid 2 games. The player. How are you going to go ahead and move Rice, knowing what he gives knowing what he gives us in that midfield that we don't have? Who can do what he does? We don't have nobody else like him to do what he does. But you're going to go ahead and move him. And then you're going to move Marino from striker to Rice position. And you're going to move Trossard to a striker. That don't make no sense, bro. You destroy the whole chemistry of the midfield right there. We win our games through our midfield. That's where we win our games from, through our midfield. When we were playing against Madrid, I didn't feel like they were going to score at no point. None. Bro, every single time PSG touched the ball, they said I felt like they were going to score a goal. And I've never felt like that about Arsenal all season. I see PSG top 3 forwards with the ball dribbling at the defense, and I just relax like this. I'm like, they ain't gonna score. But every time I see PSG touch that ball, I'm scared. I'm scared. Arteta, you got it wrong, bro. All you needed to do was find a replacement for Partey. One player. That's it. You have Zinny. Why didn't you use Zinny? Zinny would have done a better job on the field than what Marino did in the position that he had. Because if you had put Zinny in that 6, Zinny would have played some good ball game in that 6 because he loved the middle of the field. We all know that he loves in the middle of the field. Put Rice in the position that he loves so much now, and then have Marino up top, feeding him with those balls that you have Raya kicking from one end of the goal to the next. You gotta come different, Arteta. Come on, man. You're scared. You're scared. You're scared to put these kids on the field. How you gonna have Odegaard on the field for 89 minutes? And I had Ethan on the bench all that time when Odegaard was not showing up. Odegaard was nowhere to be found on that field, and you have Ethan on the bench. Everybody crying out for that kid. Look what happened in Barcelona game today. Look at Barcelona star boy, kid, 17-year-old, just like Ethan. But guess what? He's playing football, so now he has that experience, just like Skilly. He didn't start out this good, he was a little bit shaky. But he grew in it because guess what? There was no replacement for him when everybody else was injured. So he got that game time. Now, who can take away his spot? Nobody. Nobody. You gotta make some tough decisions, Arteta. And one of your toughest decisions gotta start with your captain. I love Odegaard. But I don't like him much for the past couple of weeks. Or the past several games. Because why? He hasn't been turning up. He hasn't been turning up. This is Arsenal Football Club. We need to win. We're here to sorry for people who are sitting down getting paid to do a job that they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? If they're not getting paid, you have other person that you're paying. Use them. Sit him out. If he's tired, sit him out. If he's injured, sit him out. We have players that can give you better than what a half-fit Odegaard can give us. So come on, man. Come on. We need this title, Arteta. We need this title. So you better get it right in France. You better get it right in France. Because I'm still going to be here cheering. As upset and disappointed as I am right now, I'm Arsenal through and through. So I'm going to be here cheering. And I'm going to go in that game believing that we're going to win. You have the team to win. I mean, yeah, you've done good. Because you have a lot of injury and all of that. Yeah, I understand. But you still have the team to win. This team that we have now can beat this PSG team. We can. We will. So, we're going to turn up. Make sure you turn that team up for us. We're looking forward to it. Oliver said Arsenal can do better. Of course they can. They can. And they will. I have that feeling. I've been supporting this team for all my life. I've never supported another football team. Growing up, a lot of my friends have team in France, team in Italy, team in Germany. I don't know how to do that. Because when all those teams when two of your teams supposed to play, who are you going to back? Who going to be your team then? No, I'm just Arsenal. I'm sorry. I'm just Arsenal. Guys, until next time, thank you for tuning into Riley's World. Please, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let us build a community over here. You know what I mean? Show up next time, communicate with me. Thank you guys so much who communicate in the chat with me. Olivia, Realist World, thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.